I'm Paula Ward and this is Easy Knitting Design. This video is part 3 of back neck shaping. When looking at the sweater back, the right shoulder is on the right side of the screen and the left shoulder is on the left, so I can refer to the right and left shoulders without confusion. I've worked the back yoke until it measures 6.5 inches from the underarm yarn. It's time to put the center 38 stitches on a holder. I'll knit 15, thread scrap yarn through the center 38 stitches, attach a second yarn, and knit the final 15 stitches. Here you can see the two yarns, one on each side, ready to work the purl row. The purl rows are worked straight across for now, changing yarns in the middle. On this knit row, I'll begin the neck edge decreases. I'll work a knit 2 together on the right shoulder, marking the decrease with the scrap yarn. The second yarn is picked up on the left shoulder and an SSK decrease is worked. Because there's a lot going on in a small space on the back neck, I'm using scrap yarn to mark the neck edge decreases on both sides. The purl row is worked as before, straight across both shoulders. The next knit row is the second neck edge decrease, so it's time to start the short rows. I'm marking this row horizontally with scrap yarn. The knit 2 together decrease is worked on the neck edge. I mark the left shoulder with scrap yarn as well, working the SSK decrease. The reason I use these horizontal row markers is in case I make a mistake and need to redo the shoulder shaping. It's easy to lose your place, and if I need to rip out both shoulders, I want to be able to start them both again on the same row. I stop before the end of this row and place the stitch markers for the short rows on both shoulders. I knit to the last marker and work the first wrap and turn. Slip a stitch, bring the yarn forward, return the slipped stitch, turn the work, bring the yarn forward, purl a stitch, mark the wrap on the knit side with the stitch marker, and continue purling to the neck edge. Change yarns and continue purling on the right shoulder. Now we'll work our first purl side wrap and turn. Slip a stitch, bring the yarn to the back, return the slipped stitch, and turn the work. Bring the yarn to the back again, knit a stitch, mark the wrap with the stitch marker, and continue knitting. At the neck edge, work another knit 2 together decrease, marking with the scrap yarn. Change yarns, work an SSK decrease on the left shoulder, and knit to the closer stitch marker where we'll work another knit side wrap and turn. Slip a stitch, bring the yarn forward, return the slipped stitch, turn the work, bring the yarn forward, purl a stitch, mark the wrap on the knit side with the stitch marker, and continue purling. Change yarns and on the right shoulder work to the closest stitch marker where we'll work a purl side wrap and turn. Slip a stitch, bring the yarn to the back, return the slipped stitch, turn the work, knit 1 stitch, and mark the wrap on the purl side with the stitch marker. There are only 3 stitches left on the needle, so we'll work a neck edge decrease with the knit 2 together. Change yarns and work the SSK decrease on the left shoulder. The rest of this knit row will be the pickup row for the knit side wrap and turns. Knit to the first wrap, which we can easily see because we put a stitch marker on it. Pick the wrap up through the front, then knit it together with the wrapped stitch. Knit to the next wrap and repeat. Pick the wrap up through the front, then knit it together with the wrapped stitch. Knit to the end of the row and turn the work. Purl back to the neck edge. Now the pickup row on the right shoulder from the purl side. At the first stitch marker, pick up the wrap from the back and place it on the needle, then purl it together with the wrapped stitch. Work to the next wrap and repeat. Pick the wrap up through the back, place it on the needle, and purl it together with the wrapped stitch. Finish purling the row. Turn and knit the right shoulder to the neck edge, working the 5th neck edge decrease. On the left shoulder, work the neck edge decrease and knit the row. Turn and purl back just the left shoulder. I hope you've enjoyed my videos. Don't worry about taking notes. I've put the entire system into an ebook available at knitsweaterpattern.com. Our sweater back is finished, and next we'll use the 3-needle bind off to seam the shoulders.